Thank you all for coming today. I'm John Altoff, the interim president of the Dakota County Regional Chamber of Commerce. And I'm happy today, on behalf of membership, that we are proud to join with the city to host today's event, the Rosemount 2023 State of the City. The DCR Chamber is the official chamber for the city of Rosemount, and we have a strong partnership and work together to support the city and the community. I want to thank our sponsors without whom these events don't happen. SKB Environmental, represented today by Ryan O'Gara, who's the chair of our board. Thank you, Ryan, and thank you, SKB. Minnesota Energy Resources, which has an entire table over here. Thank you. And I'll let you know the kind of guy Paul Egan is. He's also a sponsor. He's not at the front. He's sitting way in the back. Paul, thank you very much. Paul's with State Farm Insurance. I also want to thank our elected officials that are here today, and we have a number of them. If you're elected to local, regional, state, or federal office, can you please rise so we can thank you for your service? I'd also like to acknowledge if there's anyone here in public safety. I saw the chief. There he is. If there's anyone else in public service, please stand. They put their lives on the line for us each and every day, and for that we are grateful. So there are several major developments and investments that are taking place right now, right here in the heart of Rosemount, and therefore there's a lot to talk about. So I'm excited to hand it over to Rosemount's newest mayor, Jeff Weisensel.
Well, good afternoon and welcome, Rosemount. I'm Mayor Jeff Weisensel, and I want to take this time also to thank you for being here today. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow city council members, Heidi Fresky and Paul Essler, both currently serving their second terms on council, and our newest members, Paul Tyson and Tammy Klimple, both stepping forward to serve recent vacancies. I appreciate your willingness to serve Rosemount as a listener, a learner, and a leader, and I am proud to serve alongside of you. And I too also like to welcome and thank our neighbors and politicians who serve this area. Dakota County Commissioners Bill Drosty and Mary Hammond Rowland, State Representative John Hewitt and Pat Garofalo, Minnesota State Senators Aaron May Quaid and Dr. Bill Liskey, and U.S. House Representative Angie Craig. We appreciate your efforts to support Rosemount and work towards positive solutions that benefit our citizens, our city, our county, and our state. To our event sponsors today, again, thank you. Minnesota Energy Resources, SKB Environmental, and yes, way back there, Paul Egan, Insurance, State Farm Insurance, who generously provided funding for this delicious lunch we are having. Thank you to the Dakota County Chamber of Commerce for co-hosting this event and supporting our business community. And a special note of appreciation and thanks for our lunch today, catered by our local favorite, Las Tortillas. Thank you to Ryan and your team for the fusion of Irish and Mexican flavors. He's behind the door. And finally, thank you for the time and efforts of our dedicated and talented staff for setting up big events like this, along with the Rosemount Apple Valley Farmington Cable Commission, who spent a good deal of time preparing me to look good. I truly appreciate your support. In the last few years, we've faced significant challenges due to the impact of the pandemic. But through it all, Rosemount has maintained key services and continued an upward trajectory of growth and positive engagement. We've seen the addition of all types of new housing, some exciting new small businesses and restaurants, investments by regional and national corporations, and a census outlook that tells us that our growth and opportunity is continuing a steady progression forward. Our city, along with many local partners and organizations, continue to utilize this key information to plan ahead. 2 weeks ago, the City Council met with staff at our annual goal-setting session. Together, we recommitted to the strategic plan you see here. Planning our work and working our plan with staff is the key to building on all the foundational work previously done and now continuing to become the city that we want and expect. I want to thank our residents for putting your trust in me after the long and successful tenure of our past mayor, Bill Drosty, who now serves as county commissioner. You are a wonderful mentor, and I will continue to track your record of listening, engagement, and leadership. Thank you. As a youth, I embraced the ideas I learned as a Boy Scout and an avid 4-H participant. Being prepared and making the best better are concepts that have helped inform my work and service into adulthood. I have served the city of Rosemount for many years, first on our planning commission and since 2009 as a member of city council. I am deeply engaged and committed to our vital and vibrant community. It's been my pleasure to help set the strategic vision for the wave of growth we are currently experiencing. We establish priorities, we work with local stakeholders, we listen at community meetings, and manage the hurdles along the way. Having a high-performing organization is a critical component to our strategic vision. Our staff leadership team is full of talented experts who excel in their respective fields and work cohesively to deliver our day-to-day services and manage our current growth to be resilient and fiscally responsible. Now, let's hear from some of them. Just over a year ago, we welcomed our new Public Works Director, Nick Egger. Not only is he charged with the maintenance of our current city infrastructure, but also with helping plan for the expanding footprint of Rosemount. If it flows, grows, or snows, his team takes care of it. Let's turn to Director Egger to learn more about what it takes to make these day-to-day expectations happen.
Hi everyone, I'm Public Works Director Nick Egger. 2022 was an intense year for Public Works with an abundance of new infrastructure being built to serve the city's rapid growth and development, and 2023 is shaping up to be every bit as busy. Among our most notable pursuits this year are extensions of Akron Avenue, Boulder Avenue, and completing the brand new Driver Avenue. Akron Avenue will be extended south of 148th Street next to the ongoing Amber Fields development. This project will continue improvements needed to serve Amber Fields, along with the city's recently expanded Umore Ballfield complex, and it will provide access to another park being developed by our Parks and Recreation Department south of the ball fields. Construction activity is expected to start in the late spring and take into the late fall. Meanwhile, the extension of Boulder Avenue near the new Home Depot Distribution Center began late last fall. Once completed, Boulder Avenue will connect to Highway 3, allowing for improved access to the city's business park, where there has been continued interest in additional new private investment. Work is on track to be finished in the late summer. Over on the east side of Highway 52, construction of Driver Avenue, a new north-south road adjacent to the ongoing FedEx Distribution Center, also began in the fall of 2022. This road will connect County Road 42 with 140th Street, providing access to the distribution center along with additional business park development that is expected to fill out the former Rich Valley Golf Course property. Included in the scope are extensions of city sewer and water utilities to allow for additional future growth in this part of the city. Continuing with efforts that will support the city's growth, we are also bringing together plans for advancing major water supply system infrastructure over the next several years. Construction will begin later this year on a large trunk water main in the County Road 42 corridor between Akron Avenue and Highway 52. And in 2024, we are anticipating the start of construction of our next water supply well. A plan to build the city's next water tower is also following closely behind. These major undertakings will support the increasing residential growth and allow for expansion of the city's commercial base. I've mentioned a lot about building brand new things, but I'd be remiss if I didn't also talk about how Public Works has a strong role in taking care of the things we already have. A program aimed at doing this is our 2023 street improvements. Located in the J. Simons Addition neighborhood, this project will renew pavement, improve surface drainage, and extend city utility systems on several residential streets between Bacardi Avenue and Bengal Avenue, north of 130th Street. Construction is slated to start in the early summer and wind down in late fall. Last, but certainly not least, in strong partnership with Rosemount PD, one of the most exciting initiatives that Public Works staff have been collaborating on is the brand new Public Works and Police Campus. With the city's population and infrastructure continuing to grow, so too does the demand for maintenance services and projects. Located on Biscayne Avenue, just to the north of the existing Minnesota National Guard maintenance shop, this 160,000 square foot state-of-the-art campus is designed to serve the city's needs for decades to come. The new headquarters will bring together all 7 divisions of Public Works at one location to enhance staff synergy, coordination, and operational efficiencies, all of which are so vital to optimal service delivery. Public Works highlight features include new offices, meeting rooms and training spaces, along with expanded areas for the maintenance and repair of our fleet and for materials and equipment storage. We expect to break ground this coming June, and we're forecasting a move-in date of late 2024. Watch for more information about this exciting endeavor on a special webpage, which will be launched very soon.
I'd like to go thank you, Director Egger, but I believe he's out. Where are you? There we go. Thank you, Director Egger. We appreciate your hard work and experience to set us up for success. The investment in making everyday norms happen around the city is not only desired, but also expected by our citizens. Safety is a top-rated value that we hear from our residents consistently. We see it in the results of our community surveys. We hear about it during snowstorms and at community events. And we get phone calls and emails reinforcing its importance. As such, we are committed to support the investment in our new police department and Public Works combined campus. This investment will help Rosemount grow into the future. Not only will it serve our current needs, but also it will accommodate our growing space requirements for additional staff, equipment, and improved services. Our service calls are continually increasing. Our current facilities are beyond their functional life and capacity, and so the time is now to invest in our community. This facility is being designed with fiscal restraint and responsibility. We are continually working to refine ideas, analyze current and future needs, and tweak designs to come up with sustainable solutions that meet the criteria needs for our residents. For example, the land for this facility was acquired through a land trade with the Minnesota National Guard, saving us $2 million. And by designing a combined campus, our designers and construction manager will balance shared and community spaces with the current technology requirements. This facility will grow with us in the future. Since 2017, when a facility task force of Rosemount residents recommended the PDPW combined campus, our finance team has been working to prepare us for this investment. The funding strategy will include a combination of capital improvement funds, utility funds, and borrowing, with new debt incurred designed to have a gradual impact on taxpayers. Our initial bids are within the proposed budget, and once finalized, detailed information will be widely available via our city website and newsletter mailed to homes. Watch out for a special webpage coming where residents can check in on this exciting project and follow along as this investment in the safety and security of Rosemount becomes a reality. In addition to our infrastructure and safety needs, policing and public safety are highly valued in Rosemount. To learn about the increasing demands put on our police department, let's hear from Chief Mike Dahlstrom. Chief Dahlstrom has served in Rosemount since 2006, the last 4 in this key leadership position as chief. Chief Dahlstrom.
Hey Rosemount, my name is Mike Dahlstrom and I'm the Chief of Police for the city. Before discussing some of the police department's goals for 2023, I'd like to highlight some of the major accomplishments of 2022. First and foremost, I am proud to say that several Rosemount officers were recognized locally and nationally for a variety of achievements. Officer Katie Rusink was selected as the Officer of the Year for her statewide leadership and commitment during civil unrest, and for becoming the first female to ever be selected as a team leader on the Dakota County SWAT team. Officer Gage Litzner received an award for DWI enforcement. Officer Cassie Witt was given a Distinguished Service Award for spearheading a new heart health initiative, and Sergeant Simonson was nominated for a national award for his dedication and work for the Pink Patch Project. In terms of patrol operations, the department handled nearly 18,000 official calls for service throughout 2022. With the rapid growth of the city came increasing demands and new challenges for public safety. Of note, the department continued to see an uptick in calls related to mental health crisis. Our department signed a 2-year joint powers agreement with the Dakota County Social Services to expand our embedded social worker and coordinated community response program. In 2022 alone, our police officer social worker team followed up with nearly 400 individuals in need of stabilization resources in Rosemount. From an investigative standpoint, our detectives continued to crack big cases and gain valuable experience. As an example, in early 2022, our detectives, alongside investigators from the Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office, solved an 8-year cold case after human remains were found in a railroad utility shed in Rosemount in 2014. Not only did this bring needed closure for his family, but in the true spirit of service, the department arranged for the widow to fly out for the press briefing and visit the burial site. From a staffing perspective, the department celebrated the retirement of Commander John Winters, who had proudly served this community since 1993. And while there were big shoes to fill, we have been thrilled with the addition of Deputy Chief Carson Thomas, who comes to our department with 20 years of law enforcement experience in the state of California. Additionally, the department welcomed 5 new officers to the team. Our officers and staff are consistently seeking ways to expand community programs, find efficiencies in resolving crime, and starting new initiatives to strengthen public safety and relationships in Rosemount. For example, our SafeCam program launched and allowed residents and businesses of Rosemount to proactively partner with the department and alert us when they may have valuable digital evidence available for crime in their area. And our Heroes and Helpers program, often considered by officers to be their favorite engagement function, grew from helping 20 families to 30 families in 2022. While our department has a strategic plan that is filled with a wealth of objectives for 2023, we are primarily focused on finalizing the plans and breaking grounds on the new Police and Public Works campus. From a police perspective, we are currently operating out of space that is simply busting at the seams. Over the years, through a series of Tetris-like renovations, we have done everything possible to make this space work, but the department will need to increase in size as the public safety needs increase with our growing community. The new facility is designed to focus on wellness, training, technology, and sustainability. The facility will provide the tools and space needed to maintain the highest standards of public safety for Rosemount. To focus on a few areas of the design, the facility will provide office space for many of our public safety partners, such as domestic abuse advocates or our embedded social worker that we collaborate with daily. A training center and defensive tactics room will allow staff to train on duty and within the city, whereas currently, staff is often asked to drive to facilities across the metro on their days off to meet our state training mandates. Thus, not only will this afford opportunity for more frequent and personalized training, but it will significantly save costs related to renting off-site facilities and paying employees to train on days when they were scheduled to be off work. From a recruitment and retention standpoint, the new design focuses on employee wellness to help build career longevity and reduce stress and burnout that's related to public safety. Finally, the campus will feature an emergency operations center and community training room that will increase emergency preparedness and community awareness that is critical for our future success.
Thank you, Chief, for that glimpse into the steadfast service your team provides our community. Public safety is a vital need for the health of our community, and we are proud of the direction your department is taking. Again, we are aligned with the growing needs and demands placed on your department and the values citizens indicate they place on strong public safety from our police, fire, and emergency responders. We look forward to breaking ground on this new campus this summer and seeing the impact it has on the health and safety of the community. Now, speaking of health of our community, I'd like to turn it over now to our long-serving Park and Recreation Director, Dan Schultz. His department has a huge impact on day-to-day quality of life that we experience here in Rosemount. With parks and green spaces in every neighborhood, robust recreation opportunities for all ages, and a network of trails that keeps us connected, our Parks and Recreation Department is second to none. Let's learn more about the exciting work being done. Director Schultz.
2022 was a great year for the Parks and Recreation Department. We saw several projects, programs, and special events take place throughout the year. A trail project that I'd like to highlight is the Bella Vista Greenway Trail Project, which begins at the corner of Bacardi Avenue and Bon Air Path. This new trail section is part of the larger Rosemount Greenway Trail Project that helps connect Lebanon Hills Park in Eagan to Spring Lake Park in Hastings. Much of this Greenway Trail is located in Rosemount. If you've been past the Flint Hills Athletic Complex recently, you will have noticed in addition to the site, last spring, the City Council entered into a joint powers agreement with Dakota County to share in the cost of a new trailhead and multi-purpose park building. Near the building, there will be also a fix-it bike station. The trailhead building is one of the locations where people using the Rosemount Greenway can stop for a break or park at the complex and head out on the trail. Speaking of athletic complexes, the Umore Ballfield Complex recently had several new improvements added to the park. 2 new ball fields, dugouts, scoreboards, and field lighting were all added to the site to make the complex a sought-out destination for youth softball and baseball players. The City of Rosemount was excited to offer our 4th annual Food Truck Fest in September. Having 16 food trucks serving a variety of food and having live music is a great recipe for bringing the community together. Another great opportunity to connect with residents is through Arbor Day. In 2022, the City of Rosemount hosted our 30th annual Arbor Day celebration. It truly recognizes the positive impacts that trees can have on our community, and we make it our goal to share that information with our residents. Once again last year, the city gave away over 150 trees to residents who took part in that activity. As we look forward to 2023, we have a full slate of projects and programs planned for the community. One of the major projects that the city has been working on for several months is the partnership with Lifetime to bring a new facility to Rosemount. The state-of-the-art facility will include indoor and outdoor pools, workout equipment, fitness studios, and pickleball courts, and much, much more. The city expects the project to break ground in the early summer with an opening date sometime in late 2024. This spring, residents can expect to see playground equipment replacements at Kidder Park, Biscayne, and Claret Parks. Once we receive proposals for each location, the city prides itself in getting input from the neighborhood, the Youth Commission, and the Parks and Recreation Commission prior to purchasing the equipment. The careful review of these projects ends with great places for kids to play. As development in Rosemount moves east, one of the key components to connecting neighborhoods is having ample trails and sidewalks. One area that we have noticed that we could improve for connectivity is along Bon Air Path, just north of Meadows Park. The city is planning to add a trail to the south side of Bon Air Path so that people can travel along the road getting to their destinations in a safe manner. Last and certainly not least, now that we have added new improvements to the Umore Ballfield Complex, that park will become a hub of activity for softball and baseball games, practices, and tournaments. To meet the needs of our users, the city is designing a park shelter building that will provide indoor restrooms and a space for selling concessions to park visitors.
Thank you, Director Schultz. There is a lot to look forward to in this plan. Not only does it focus on keeping connectivity between our new developments and the town center, but also the beginnings of making Rosemount a recreation destination. As we grow, these parks and trails will serve to connect our residents to their neighbors, attract regional visitors for biking and athletic tournaments, and encourage us to gather as friends with shared interest. City staff is planning wisely to ensure Rosemount remains connected and tied to our hometown feel. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the amount of volunteerism that we experience here in Rosemount. Between community events and organizations, nonprofits, youth athletics, schools, and a number of highly active faith organizations, tens of thousands of hours are volunteered and donated annually in Rosemount. These hours are a huge impact, a huge economic impact, which is truly amazing and even more invaluable as the connections are made between neighbors, families, and friends. This type of commitment and connection is so important to our growing community. As we grow and develop, these connections are the glue that holds us together. I encourage you to take the opportunity to volunteer. You can visit our city website or go to volunteerrosemount.com to offer your time and skills to one of the many great organizations. 2023 will be a very exciting year in Rosemount. Major businesses are making new private investment bets on Rosemount. Lifetime, the Home Depot, FedEx, these businesses chose Rosemount, and we are grateful they are here. Expansions at Spectral Alloys, Frana Companies, and Hawkins Inc. show a continued desire to stay and remain in Rosemount. Where we once had to work hard to get investors to even look at us, we are now fielding a steady stream of inquiries, and we've already seen the impact of some of those investments. Shovels in the ground isn't just good for photo ops. It means job opportunities, a positive impact on our local economy, and increasing our tax base. Another major desire we've heard from residents is the demand for more retail. And what most of you know is that in a city of our size, jobs, housing, and infrastructure need to be in place first. With the increase in population, rooftops, and job opportunity comes the retail that everyone wants to see. New destination businesses like North 20 Brewing and Omni Winery and Taproom show that our retail footprint is indeed expanding and moving eastward, rounding out that strong retail environment we already have here in our most established city corridors. Stay tuned as more opportunities are expected to be announced this year. The Lifetime Project is another example of how Rosemount is a city that invests in itself. By securing a major tenant to anchor development at 42 in Akron, we are confident that the key retail needs will follow closely. This facility will be financed through a careful borrowing, but the debt will not impact our taxpayers. We will purchase the land and repay our debt using the set-aside capital funds, lifetime lease repayments, and SKB landfill fees. This innovative public-private partnership is the first of its kind between a municipality and Lifetime. So let's hear more about these plans and see what's coming from our Community Development Director, Adam Kienberger.
I'm Adam Kienberger, Community Development Director for the city, consisting of planning and zoning, economic development, building inspections, and code enforcement. The Community Development Department works in unity to promote safe and sustainable development throughout Rosemount. We've once again seen lots of growth and activity occur this past year, demonstrating Rosemount is a place many people and businesses are choosing to call home. In just the last year, we've overseen more than 220 housing units and $155 million in additional building valuation added to Rosemount. This record-breaking number is attributed to a wide range of development projects across the community. From breweries to big boxes, 2023 is shaping up to be just as exciting. Housing demands continue to grow and shift in our community. While this past year saw a downturn in new single-family homes, largely due to increasing interest rates, we saw an increase in multifamily projects which will add to the diversity of housing options for new and existing residents. The first example is a new 32-unit assisted living and memory care facility currently under construction just north of County Road 42 between Highway 3 and Business Parkway. This development by Sweet Living adds an important option to Rosemount's life cycle housing. Schaefer Richardson received approvals for a mix of just over 300 affordable and market rate apartments on the northeast corner of Akron Avenue and Connemara Trail. Rohr's Companies is planning just over 200 market rate units at the southwest intersection of Akron and Connemara, and Real Estate Equities received approval for 160 new affordable rental units in the Amber Fields development at the southwest quadrant of Akron and County Road 42. When fully built out, the Amber Fields development will add nearly 2,000 housing units to this area of Rosemount, increasing demand for planned additional schools and retail development. These developments are all in line with the city's vision to create a robust development focus in this area of the community. That development will be highlighted by a state-of-the-art 100,000 square foot lifetime community recreation facility scheduled to break ground later this summer. Other commercial projects are in the early planning stages for this area with more detail to come in the near future. We also have some big commercial developments that will become excellent job creators for our area. You have probably noticed the Home Depot Distribution Center located off Highway 3 on the south side of County Road 42. This recently completed 420,000 square foot facility is creating 100 new jobs and will bring in an annual tax revenue of just over $600,000. In addition, FedEx kicked off the redevelopment of the former Rich Valley Golf Course with a new 557,000 square foot distribution hub. This project is expected to create an estimated 500 jobs and spur additional business growth for Rosemount. Frana Companies started construction on a second Rosemount location at the northwest corner of Highway 3 and County Road 46. Their continued investment in the community is resulting in a new 60,000 square foot manufacturing facility. Just across the street, McGough has approvals for a 300,000 square foot multi-tenant office warehouse building that will bring even more business growth and investment to Rosemount. Other notable additions and expansions include continued innovative growth at Spectral Alloys, Hawkins Incorporated, and Stonebrook Equipment. While these are just some of the projects underway, there are several other codename projects in the early stages of planning we hope will choose Rosemount to call home. Many major projects often start their site selection process as confidential inquiries under a secret project codename. For example, the Home Depot project started out as Project Osprey when they began their site search here nearly 2 years ago. And finally, we always enjoy celebrating new business ventures that add to the hometown feel of the community. North 20 Brewing, a rural microbrewery owned by the Schmitz family of Rosemount, opened last summer on land located adjacent to a wildlife preserve in the northern part of town on Bacardi Avenue. In addition, Omni Orchard's Farm Winery and Tap Room opened a few months ago just south of 42 on Biscayne Avenue. Look for them to expand their offerings this summer with a number of outdoor patio improvements. As you can see, it is a very busy and exciting time to be part of the development happening in Rosemount. Thank you to those who serve on our Planning Commission to review these plans, and the Port Authority, which provides guidance and financing to support the economic development focus of the city. We are committed to attracting a diversity of housing, commercial, industrial, and other unique development projects so that Rosemount can grow to become a place where residents and businesses grow and prosper.
Thank you, Director Kienberger. It just makes a construction guy like me feel really good about seeing all that building. I want to thank you and your staff for this time and effort you are putting into managing the high volume of development interest we are currently experiencing. This is very exciting in Rosemount. We are grateful for the investments taking place in our community, and we want to grow and support this change accordingly. We know what these businesses want: solid infrastructure, access to housing, childcare, workforce, and a high quality of life for our employees. As an organization, we must plan and prepare for this growth. We've already touched on the infrastructure and safety needs. Housing and educational opportunities are also of utmost importance. This is why we are working to add housing for people in all stages of life. This year, we are pleased to add 350 units of workforce housing, 300 market rate apartment units, and 32 units of assisted living and memory care. If you want Rosemount to retain that hometown feel, we need to ensure pleasant and secure housing options for those who are entering the workforce, starting a family, entering retirement, and beyond. We want folks to be able to move comfortably through their lifespan here in Rosemount. Another important issue impacted by our rapid growth is the education system. We are extremely proud to be part of Independent School District 196, truly one of the best districts in Minnesota. Now the third largest district statewide, District 196 serves over 29,000 students from Rosemount, Eagan, Apple Valley, and the surrounding areas. And they are fully aware of the impact and projected growth happening in our corner of the district. That is why I'm pleased to welcome Superintendent of Schools Mary Kreger here to talk to us today about the upcoming bond referendum. The plan includes new schools and upgrades that will serve not only Rosemount, but the entire District 196. Superintendent Kreger.
Okay, thank you. First of all, what a great opportunity for us to share what we're planning in the district. So thank you for inviting us to be part of your State of the City. It's very exciting to be here. I want to thank Jackie Magnuson, our school board representative from Rosemount, and also members of my cabinet who are here today. Tony Tashner, Janet Fiman, and Mark Stotz, hiding over in the corner. And most importantly to all of you, our incredible principals of our Rosemount schools. So thank you for being here, and thanks to all of you for everything you do. Okay, I was super confident. There we go. Okay, so as you heard from the mayor, we are here to share information about our bond referendum that we're bringing forth this spring. So that's what I will do in the next few minutes. We are the third largest district, just easing over Minneapolis by a few students, but because of this community in particular, I anticipate we'll continue to remain in the third largest district with our growth. And as you heard, we have 35 schools and learning centers. We're really proud. We get a lot of recognition. I think that we're deserving of a lot of that recognition and grateful for it. One of the most important badges of honor from recent years is the Forbes naming us one of the best in the state employers, because all of us know we're vying for the best employees possible, right? And it's important for us to provide that good work experience so that we can continue to ensure that our students have the best teachers and support staff working with them. Also, our budget presentations are annually actually honored. And most importantly, of course, how do we do? And our 4 comprehensive high schools are in the top 50 in the state, with 2 of them being in the top 10. So, this is a little video telling more about the bond.
About this community. People want to live here because of the quality of schools.
There's 1,000 more students in this building than there were in 1990. And with that, there's not been a lot of upgrades with the facilities.
It looks to be just about the same school that I graduated from in 2003.
It's exciting to have the growth. We have new families coming in, large enrollments, but we've just simply outgrown our footprint.
Question 1 includes improvements that address needs in all 3 areas of safety and security, space for learning, and providing a consistent experience across the district. Question 1 would cost an estimated $374 million at a tax impact of $11.50 per month on the average value home in District 196.
The increase for safety has become abundant.
Bathrooms are private. It doesn't really feel private.
Stalls are very, I wouldn't say very secure. When you're using the bathroom, you don't feel the most comfortable.
Our parking lot footprint just isn't big enough. Our morning drop-off sometimes creates safety concerns.
This bond referendum will address safety and security needs, such as updating and maintaining our camera system, providing a district-wide radio communication system, renovating spaces for better visibility and supervision, and working on parking lot renovations, including the addition of more lighting.
We need to create that environment that's welcoming and safe for the kids. Having the additional funds will allow us to do that.
The district has been steadily growing. As a result of that, we have additional space needs.
There's not enough designated space for us having to go out into like the main foyer to practice because there's not enough space in the choir room.
Purely building alone can make a difference on a child's mental health. One of the main things that students say that can stress them out during the day is the hallways and the busyness of the hallways. That's something that as a counselor, I can't help a lot with because I can't move the building structure.
We've literally turned every possible nook and cranny into a learning space at a point right now where we truly need some enhancements and some renovations to align with our growth moving forward.
Our district projections show that we'll need space for an additional 1,000 students by the year 2030. This bond will alleviate those space issues by building a new elementary school, building a new Rosemount middle school, and repurposing that space for other district needs. We also have an addition plan for Scott Highlands Middle School, and also renovating and putting an addition on Rosemount High School.
Across the district, the theaters are pretty different.
Depending on what classroom you take a specific class in, your experience could differ just in terms of the resources that are available to you.
I have coworkers that have 0 sinks in their science room, and I have coworkers that have 1 sink. It does limit what we can do. We do have to get pretty creative.
Question 2 would add activity center space at all 4 comprehensive high schools. The cost would be an additional $119 million at a tax impact of $7 per month on the average value home. Passage of question 2 is contingent on passage of question 1.
I took a phy-ed volleyball gym class and there was, I think, 25 people on one side of the court. Honestly, it's just not safe.
There's many benefits to the activity center. I think right now the #1 benefit maybe people don't think about is inclusion. That'll be here on campus for everyone to use.
It's important for us to update our facilities so that we can guarantee that as our world changes, that what we're providing our kids in the classroom meets the expectations of the global market that we're going to ask them to compete in.
Every school can benefit from this referendum.
Every child benefits when we have better facilities.
Please learn all you can about the upcoming referendum and don't forget to vote on or before May 9th.
So as you heard, that was the quick overview of what we're bringing forth to our community in May. Here, and again, I feel like this just totally goes with the slides that the mayor shared. We are continuing to grow, especially in this area. We project up to 1,000 more students in the next few years. 86% of our residents send their children to our schools, and realtors still say, yes, if we have a house within 196, it helps to sell that home. So we continue to be that district of choice, and we look at we have a AAA philosophy. That's academics, athletics, and of course here we have to highlight the arts. And the biggest highlight I think of this year has been when our Rosemount marching parade was part of the Rose Bowl parade. And it was quite an event, and I don't know if some of you in the room, I know some of our administrators were there, and they said it was a lifetime opportunity. The excitement was just overwhelming. But you know that event only came about with a lot of support from families, incredibly talented students, and incredibly talented staff who made it happen. So it's really important to us, and we're really proud to share that. And like we said, we had a long process over 2 years led by our Director of Finance and Operations, Mark Stotts, with a group of people saying, where are our needs? What do we have to do? And they came up with these themes that you heard in the video. So I won't go into too much detail right now, but just that safety and security, space for growth, and that consistent experience. We're not going to have everything the same in a district this big, but we want to make sure that every single one of our 29,000 students has those opportunities for learning that they deserve. And so what's included, again, as you heard in the video, some of those question 1 are those improvements. They involve a lot of the mayor's favorite word, which is Rosemount, because that's where things are happening right now. And then question 2 really came from that process. We had the idea of activity centers as a later priority. And our citizens came to us and they said, no, we want you to move that forward. So if question 1 passes, then we'll have an opportunity to see if question 2 passes. And I really think the plan, there's a lot happening in Rosemount because there's a lot happening in Rosemount, but it really does affect every single one of our facilities and every single one of our students throughout the district. And so here's the activity center. Again, you saw this on the video, but really looking at it will impact academics throughout our system. It also increases our opportunities for co-curriculars, for clubs, for community involvement. And where it used to be thought of as something extra and special, now we have found 30 of 53 of our Twin Cities school districts do have at least one activity center. So we're really grateful for the people who came forward and said, make this a priority, put this on it. And so you heard the cost and the tax impact, that's the big question. For most of the average homes, that's going to be about $20 a month total. And then for people to find out exactly what would be that impact, we have at district196.org/bond. You can go in and find out what that tax impact would be for your residents. So be informed and vote. Voting starts actually March 24th, absentee voting. On that bond information page, you can find out how to vote. We really need our citizens to be informed and to get out and to vote. And as I wrap up, I just have to say, as you heard in the previous, looking at Rosemount, there's a lot of construction happening. And part of the big elements of this would be a new elementary school in Rosemount, a new middle school in Rosemount, and also taking our existing Rosemount Middle School, which is not conducive to 2023 learning opportunities, and repurposing that. And so as we're going through this, it's super complex. And as we move forward, we can't ask for better partners than the mayor, the city council, the city managers, and the city staff, including our police chief, than the people of Rosemount. You've been phenomenal. And we are just so grateful that we have such a good partnership and that we can continue and look forward to the future with a lot of optimism and excitement. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Superintendent Kreger. Education continues to be a high priority for our residents, and we look forward to the results of the upcoming referendum. Thank you for coming here today to share this important undertaking, and we wish you the best of Irish luck this spring. Last year, Rosemount made Money Magazine's Best Places to Live list for the second time in a decade. Best places to live in the nation. This says a lot about our city and what we have to offer. It attracts new residents who are looking to settle in a safe and strong community. It attracts businesses who want to build in this place that will support their success and that of their employees. So it's no wonder Rosemount is filling up with prospects and possibilities. The growth we are experiencing is something to be celebrated and embraced. It also comes with its unique challenges. As a city, our task is to plan carefully and grow responsibly so that Rosemount can maintain that hometown feel that we are recognized for and value so deeply. I believe we are on the right track, the right path to achieve this goal together. And here's my challenge for each of you. Let us all work together to continue to ensure that Rosemount is the best place to live, work, and do business. What that requires of each of us is a willingness to connect, to be involved, and invest in our community and its future. Rosemount has an amazing culture of participation, from the arts to athletics, our green spaces, local events, recreational options, new restaurants, breweries and retailers to discover, places to worship, and volunteer organizations to uplift and serve. There are so many opportunities for each of us to plug in. As our population grows, it is imperative that people get to know their neighbors and engage in their community. The city works to foster these connections through placemaking and activities, but the residents and business owners are the ones who truly make it happen. You create the energy that makes our city shine. And there are so many ways to plug in. On our part, the city mails out quarterly newsletters and recreational offerings to every home and business. We are active on a variety of social media platforms. In this past year, we also upgraded our city website with improved navigation, a new chatbot option that offers around-the-clock service, and a report an issue tool. You can even text us to ask a question or report an issue now. Plus, you can sign up to get a text or an email on the topics you are most interested in. And as always, City Council members are available at meetings, public events, and around town. If you have a question or concern, share it with us. Each of us are approachable and embrace a servant leadership perspective. With so many forms of communication available, I urge you to follow along with all the exciting things that are going on. As a resident, you can show your support by uplifting the exciting things that happen, such as the Irish going to a state tournament, or our award-winning high school marching band representing Rosemount at the Rose Parade in Pasadena just a couple of months ago. Organize or attend the neighborhood gatherings such as National Night Out, attend a play or concert at the Steeple Center, or head to Central Park to enjoy live music and major events, including Art Blast and Leprechaun Days this summer, our Food Truck Festival and Haunted Trail in the fall. You can volunteer to coach a youth sports team or advise the City Council by joining a City Commission. Your participation does make a difference. And finally, I ask that you support the current and future investments that are happening in Rosemount. These improvements will have a positive impact on the entire community. By wisely investing in our collective public safety, education, connectivity, and placemaking, the Rosemount of today and the Rosemount of the future will be strong, steady, and safe. This is a city where opportunity thrives. This is a community where new ideas can flourish. And this is a place we can all proud to be called home. So today, State of the City's message given in the spirit of pride and progress, I thank you for attending and hearing that the City of Rosemount is strong, steady, and safe. Thank you.